Breaking the barriers to me is overcoming challenges, and every one of us has that.
The impact of this exhibit and the pieces that we had around it tells a story, and it tells a story about people.
Breaking the barriers is our historic piece of the contribution of black players to the game of tennis in America.
This kind of a project is one that is, well, honestly, long overdue.
I like bringing together talent, resources, ideals, putting the resources together in the room, and then talk about what is it that we can do.
When Paula came to me and this idea was presented, and she was just so infectious about what she wanted to do, and it was just exciting. It was exciting to say, you know, we can bring this here and make it something really special for our community.
This just seemed like a really unique way to be engaging people of different backgrounds and exposing them to the sport in a different way.
It is a movement. It's a dream. It's a dream come true.
The exhibit itself is an 80-foot wall that is a historical timeline of African Americans in tennis from the 1800s to Arthur Ashe Wimbledon win. I was inspired because of the relationship with the Blair-Caldwell African American Research Library. They are the crown jewel of the African American community, and then also to Denver too in itself, as far as being a part of the Denver Public Library system and the uniqueness of being a research library.
As an archive, we specialize in getting information for African Americans in the West, west of the Mississippi, from Mexico to Canada.
Hello. Hi. You guys excited? This is gonna be cool. Hello. Hey.
I'm with the United States Tennis Association here in Colorado. My name's Christy, and we're working really closely with the Blair-Caldwell African American Research Library, where we are today, to bring this exhibit to you.
What's really cool is we're going to spotlight a lot of history here.
We looked at developing some materials that could be used in the classroom prior to as well as after a visit to the exhibit to have a conversation around the messages of the exhibit. Breaking the barriers, overcoming challenges, issues of diversity, racism, prejudice, some difficult topics that we could have maybe a little more comfortable conversation because tennis is the background that we're using. These are going to be pieces that we're able to continue to use and we're going to have on our website, and we're going to make sure teachers are aware of them. That was really important to us as we were putting in all the effort to create them, that we could use them beyond the 3-month run of the exhibit.
The portrait series was a huge surprise.
The portraits allowed you to actually see the pioneers and visualize them in their own kind of framework, their own aura, their own personalities.
I saw my Nana and Papa on that picture when I went to the museum. I learned about they used to play tennis back in the old days.
This is your ball, okay? Woo. Your ball.
Arthur won the first U.S. Open, which was in 1968.
We knew Arthur Ashe even when I was little back in Nigeria, and he played a key role in getting me involved in tennis. There's just no doubt about it.
The oral lecture series was another spin-off of, okay, we've got the Breaking the Barriers here. How do we drive more traffic to come to see the exhibit?
Althea Gibson, she came to Colorado, and of course she was the first black person to play in the U.S. Nationals, 1950.
Obviously the history is so rich, and we are blessed to have a local historian here, Rich Hillway, who lives in Colorado Springs. We can bring him in and he can answer questions and tell people about the history of tennis. We were blessed to have these 3 beautiful women come in from the WTA Women's Tour, Lori McNeil, Chandra Rubin, and Katrina Adams. When you use your imagination, you can enhance this exhibit and offer all kinds of things to the community. And so the oral lecture series was just another way to get information to the community about the game of tennis. And it was wildly successful. Almost standing room only for all of the series, which was really just wonderful. Our Tennis Diversity Fest series runs over 3 events. This year, with the Breaking the Barriers exhibit being here, we said, okay, we cannot do everything.
Come on, you got it!
So let's make one Diversity Tennis Fest at City Park and bring all of these people that we've reached out to together. Where some of these young people got to see wheelchair players who are the most incredible athletes in the world. It was a rainbow of people and activity, and it was just absolutely outstanding.
That excitement and enthusiasm. I was out there playing with the kids and having fun with them, and I just can't speak enough about it. You hand them a free racket, and just the stunning look on their faces is priceless.
I would have to say the documentary was a favorite of mine, in the sense that it showed, or it illumined our sport in a way that showed the difficulties that people had endured and persevered and overcome. And it also showed the grace and the beauty that is our sport. And it did it with people that are from the community and from the area, that I think makes it that much more real.
These are ordinary people who did some extraordinary things, and they did it in an unassuming way.
If you just come to one of the events and just watch the kids, that's the answer right there.
It's good to see what I would call ground level exposure efforts by the United States Tennis Association. I think that's been incredible.
We had over 10,000 visitors in the 3-month period of the exhibit. We had 1,000 students that experienced a formal and informal guided tour. We had 45 media press hits with over 8 million impressions.
I would like to see this be a nationwide campaign.
I would love to see it taken around the country with the materials that we developed and build upon those, and see what different communities can come together and do around the exhibit.
What about you?
I love tennis!
You?